What is it about these deadly lands that is so captivating to humans? On our planet, there exist landscapes so breathtakingly beautiful they seem surreal. But hidden beneath that perfect facade are silent traps. A cliff will not give a warning before it collapses. A crystal-clear river may conceal a raging current powerful enough to drag you to the bottom. And there are roads that wind along chasms, where a single wrong glance can turn a journey into a perpetual nightmare. Here, nature knows no mercy. It is the struggle between the instinct for exploration and the fear of survival that creates the deadly allure of these locations. Would you dare to plunge on a mountain bike where the distance between the wheels and the bottomless abyss is measured in inches? In Italy's Dolomites, many eccentric riders choose ultra-narrow trails, clinging to sheer cliffs, where losing control means free fall. Much of the journey follows the Via Ferrata, a route originally designed for rock climbers, riddled with slippery gravel, rough terrain, and virtually no chance of correction. When speed, altitude, and howling winds combine, each curve is a breathtaking battle of wits. But the price isn't just the descent. Riders also have to carry their heavy bikes over the sheer cliffs beforehand. If it were you, would you be able to keep a cool head while navigating a trail so close to the edge of a precipice? Deep in the remote wilderness of Chilean Patagonia, the Futaleufú River is clearly not for the faint of heart. It's a global mecca for elite paddlers, thanks to its Category 5 waves. The ultimate danger in whitewater rafting, especially in the section known as the Terminator. The immense force of the water compressed through a narrow rocky gorge can toss and capsize large boats in seconds. If you're unlucky enough to fall from the boat, you'll be swept into a whirlpool, relentlessly pounding and pinning you to the bottom. Even more terrifying are the siphons, invisible underwater caverns created when the raging current crashes against submerged rocks, then sucking people into suffocating narrow passages. The river's isolation makes any rescue or medical evacuation efforts incredibly difficult. The Zambezi River continues its water-based nightmare. This river is listed by extreme sports experts as one of the world's most dangerous commercial day rafting routes. The starting point is right at the foot of the majestic Victoria Falls, where massive volumes of water crash down, creating deep pools at the entrance to the Batoka Gorge. As the inflatable raft enters the gorge, the sheer basalt cliffs on either side will cut off all escape routes. The hydraulic pockets here don't simply propel the raft, they roll you under the surface like a giant washing machine. The capsizing of a large inflatable raft by waves is not a random accident, but an inevitable consequence. From August to December, when the water level is low, the sharp underwater rocks are exposed, further increasing the river's danger. If you want to witness the ferocity of water from the shore, head to Huko Waterfall. Here, the mighty Yellow River is suddenly squeezed through a narrow gorge, transforming into one of China's most powerful waterfalls. The immense impact sends water splashing up in thick columns of mist, mixing with the characteristic silt of the Golden River, dyeing the entire space in a murky yellow. The incessant roar of the water echoes throughout the gorge like the hooves of thousands of warhorses charging forward. Powerful enough to drown out any conversation and disorient many who stand too close. This dense mist also keeps the paths and rock surfaces around the waterfall almost always wet and slippery year-round. Just one unsteady step when approaching the edge to look down at the swirling water can lead to unpredictable consequences. Despite these risks, every day a large number of tourists still crowd close to the railings or rock edges to capture the moment before the fierce waterfall. The Via Ferrata route on Yunjing Mountain in Zhangjiajie is a challenge that tests the limits of those afraid of heights. The symbol of terror here is the Sky Ladder, which soars to a height of approximately 850 feet, and hangs suspended in a cloud-filled void. To climb this ladder, you must manually move each safety lock along the steel cable. Then, step by step, on the metal steps suspended in midair. When strong winds come, the feeling of loneliness and isolation in the vast space becomes palpable. A single misstep or momentary panic can lead to catastrophic consequences. Because once you've stepped on, There's almost no turning back. Also in Zhangjiajie, a glass bridge spanning a canyon broke all records for height and length when it opened in 2016. Spanning nearly 400 feet across the sky and suspended almost 10 feet above the gorge. The bridge is constructed from dozens of transparent, reinforced glass panels, giving the sensation of walking in mid-air with every step. Just look down and you'll see sheer cliffs and dense forests hundreds of meters below. To alleviate visitors' anxieties, the management once had cars drive across the bridge and used sledgehammers to directly strike the glass panels to demonstrate their load-bearing capacity. Theoretically, the bridge can accommodate up to 800 people at a time. But those numbers rarely ease the feeling of unease when standing in the space separated from the abyss by only a layer of transparent glass. Not only is it a popular tourist attraction, but it also boasts the world's highest commercial bungee jumping platform. Those who crave thrills are ready to leap from the bridge and free fall into the gorge after just a few seconds of gathering their courage. In another corner, a glass bridge over 600 feet high further transforms the fear of heights into a face-to-face experience. The nearly invisible glass eliminates all visual cues, making each step feel like stepping into nothingness. Upon reaching the outer edge, strong gusts of wind from the canyon intensify the fear of being blown into the abyss. Directly below, a massive system of cascading waterfalls creates a sound trap with a resounding roar that disorients visitors. Fog mixed with water droplets clings to the glass surface, making it slippery. Many visitors have frozen in place, bursting into tears or fainting under the combined pressure of the height, strong winds, and endless emptiness. Leaving Asia, we arrive at one of Europe's most challenging hiking trails. The Pico do Arriero to Pico Ruivo, connecting the two highest peaks of Madeira Island. The trail is only about 4 to 5 miles long, but the constant changes in altitude and steep stone steps will quickly wear down anyone's stamina. This route doesn't curve around the mountains, but runs along narrow ridges, where whirlwinds from the two deep valleys on either side sweep through. The most dangerous sections are the steep, bare metal ladders driven straight into the almost vertical cliffs. At an altitude of over 900 feet, you are surrounded by towering volcanic cliffs. When thick fog descends, the valleys below completely disappear, leaving you feeling as if you are walking on a sea of fluffy clouds amidst the clouds. But everyone still has to be wary of the Caminito del Rey in Spain, a walkway once dubbed the world's most dangerous road. This place claimed many lives and was closed for 15 years before being restored. The walkway is only 3 feet wide, anchored to a sheer cliff face more than 300 feet above the bottom of the canyon. Just below the new walkway, the crumbling concrete and rusted steel bars of the old walkway remain as a haunting reminder. Visitors are required to wear helmets to avoid falling rocks before crossing a steel mesh bridge. Where you can see the abyss below and feel the shaking from the canyon winds. This route has almost no escape routes midway. If someone panics or experiences a medical emergency, a helicopter is the only way to rescue them. If lighthouses are prisons in the middle of the sea, then the Gervasutti bivouac shelter in the Alps is a box suspended in mid-air. The journey to this shelter has never been easy. To reach it, climbers must overcome sheer cliffs and glaciers riddled with deadly cracks. Waiting for them at the end of the journey is a unique metal tube with a section of its structure protruding from the cliff face. The shelter only has enough space for a maximum of 12 people. So, arriving late in bad weather will force you to turn back in the middle of a blizzard. This bizarre location offers the experience of sleeping suspended in mid-air. However, just below the entrance is a chasm thousands of feet deep, making every step require absolute caution. In particular, the lack of enclosed toilets forces them to step out into the freezing cold, facing biting winds just to relieve themselves. Also nestled in the extreme icy environment of the Alps is Capanna Margherita. Europe's tallest building is located atop Punta Nifetti. Part of this structure juts out over the sheer cliff face, giving the impression that the entire building is suspended between clouds and boulders. To access it, visitors must cross massive glaciers and skillfully navigate deep fissures hidden beneath the snow. Because all supplies must be transported by helicopter. Even a hot meal at this oxygen-deficient altitude is a luxury. The entire building is encased in a copper shell that acts like a Faraday cage, directing lightning strikes around the exterior instead of striking the interior. It also serves as a medical research station, where doctors decipher how the human body reacts to extreme conditions at high altitudes. The journey to the summit of Everest is never for those seeking safety. From the very first stages, your body has to carry dozens of pounds of survival equipment, specialized clothing, and reserve oxygen tanks to sustain life at the breathtaking altitude. When entering the Khumbu icefall region, the real challenge begins with the constantly shifting, massive ice blocks and the endless, deep fissures. Climbers must maintain their balance to crawl across flimsy metal ladders precariously placed between the two ice cliffs. Higher up, overnight camps are erected right on the treacherous, steep cliffs. Here, nighttime temperatures can plummet to between -40 and -76 degrees Fahrenheit. This series of harsh challenges has claimed the lives of over 300 people. Many of their bodies remain forever buried in the snow because bringing them down is impossible. The Katla ice caves in Iceland offer an equally terrifying experience. The most challenging test of courage here is stepping across makeshift wooden planks placed directly above deep ice caverns, where icy water roars continuously below. This terrain makes any misstep a catastrophic accident in the freezing and isolated environment. The danger is further amplified by the fact that the entire massive ice structure could collapse at any moment due to the simmering geothermal activity of the Katla volcano located directly beneath the surface. To conquer this place, specialized equipment and guidance from experts knowledgeable in the terrain are essential if you don't want to be swallowed up forever. The remote island of Halmahera in eastern Indonesia is home to the Dukono volcano. It is considered one of the geological monsters that has almost never slept. continuously erupting for the past century. Despite the ever-present threat of death, many tourists still gamble their lives to venture close to the edge of the volcano's crater, with thick plumes of black smoke billowing up, all just to capture a once-in-a-lifetime photograph. These images, when circulated in late 2024, drew fierce criticism from the public for their disregard for human life. The Indonesian government immediately issued a strict ban, blacklisting these reckless tourists and permanently expelling them from national conservation areas. In the icy, fiery land of Iceland, the Fagradalsfjall volcano once again challenges humanity with its seemingly slow-moving, yet incredibly destructive streams of fiery red magma. Beneath the seemingly cool, dark gray rock lies a molten lava flow exceeding 1,832 degrees Fahrenheit, relentlessly radiating heat. The most subtle danger here is the invisible toxic gases accumulating in the low-lying areas, silently depleting the oxygen in the air. The terrain surrounding the eruption site changes constantly from day to day. A safe passage today may be completely blocked by a new lava flow tomorrow. The stacked walls of cooled lava are also prone to cracking or collapsing when the ground shakes. This can turn the area into a magnet for hundreds of thousands of thrill seekers. Possessing the characteristic ancient beauty of Italy, Mount Etna is also one of the most active volcanoes in all of Europe. The surrounding landscape is constantly being reshaped by lava and ash. Sulfur gases and collapsed tunnels follow successive eruptions. The danger of Etna comes not only from the hot lava flows, but also from the loose, easily collapsing ash and dangerous voids hidden beneath the surface. Sudden steam eruptions occur when groundwater encounters hot rock, creating immense pressure that blasts earth, rocks, and debris into the air in just seconds. That is why any journey to this mountain requires extreme vigilance due to geological warnings. Valur geothermal area is a bizarre region in Iceland. Here, patches of reddish-brown soil, plumes of white steam, and a pungent sulfurous smell create a feeling like you're on Mars. The Earth's crust here is extremely thin and brittle. Just one misstep outside the protective rope area is enough to cause the ground to collapse, plunging you into the bubbling mud below. Temperatures in these mud pits frequently reach or exceed 212 degrees Fahrenheit, enough to deform even specialized rubber boots. The hazy plumes of smoke are actually high-pressure vents filled with toxic gases, which can cause immediate burns or dizziness to anyone standing too close. It is the heat, toxic gases, and highly acidic soil that have turned this place into a dead zone where not a single plant or blade of grass can survive. With continuous eruptions for nearly 800 years. Mount Yasur holds the record as one of the most accessible active volcanoes in the world. After a short climb over ash-covered slopes, you can gaze directly into the bubbling, fiery red lava pool inside the caldera. This approximately 1,300-foot wide crater has absolutely no barriers, safety nets, or any protective systems along its steep edges. Every few minutes, the mountain ejects molten rock into the air, sometimes falling back down right next to the viewing area. Each eruption also creates powerful shock waves that can shake your chest and increase the risk of losing your balance on the unstable edge. Dubbed the Devil's Soup Pot, Ambrim volcano once boasted 2 bubbling lava pools. This made it one of the most ferocious geological hotspots on the planet. Standing on the edge of the loose ash without any protective railings, you would face directly the lava flow below, with temperatures exceeding 1,832 degrees Fahrenheit. Giant gas bubbles frequently burst from the lakebed, shooting jets of molten rock dozens of feet high and posing a direct threat to the lives of observers. The atmosphere around the crater contains extremely high levels of toxic gases, ready to create acid rain. It requires you to wear a specialized gas mask to protect your respiratory system. Camping overnight on this ash field is an extreme physical challenge, as the ground constantly shakes from tremors from the Earth's core. Suspended at an altitude of approximately 300 feet. Trolltunga is one of Norway's most spectacular yet perilous rock formations. This colossal rock was formed after the Ice Age, when glaciers eroded the cliff face over thousands of years, leaving a sheer cliff jutting out into the abyss below. It is this barren edge of rock that has made Trolltunga one of the world's most famous adventurous photography spots. Every year, thousands of people brave the danger to sit on the edge of the cliff or take spectacular photos on the slippery rock surface. However, the real challenge begins before you even set foot there. To reach Trolltunga, visitors must complete a round-trip hike of nearly 17 miles across steep slopes and constantly changing weather conditions. Just a sudden strong gust of wind sweeping through from the valley floor can cause you to lose your balance in the midst of this seemingly peaceful landscape. Harihar Fort is frequently listed among the most dangerous hiking trails in the Western Ghats. The fort's ascent is via a series of almost vertical steps on a massive basalt rock formation. This system of 117 steps has a gradient of up to 80 degrees, with each step so narrow that it barely fits half an adult's foot. The entire climb lacks metal railing, forcing climbers to grip tightly onto small, hand-carved grooves along the sides of the rock face. Over the centuries, millions of footsteps have worn down the rock edges, leaving many sections smooth and extremely difficult to grip. The fort sits atop a triangular prism-shaped basalt hill that rises abruptly from the plain. Crowded weekends become a nightmare of jostling on the narrow staircase. In Zion National Park in Utah, USA, there's a legendary trail that requires a lottery-winning streak to even attempt. The final section of the Angel's Landing Trail is a narrow ridge with sheer cliffs nearly 1,000 feet deep on either side. To navigate this section, hikers must cling to iron chains anchored to the rock, carefully inching forward amidst strong winds and the dizzying heights below. The danger intensifies whenever the sandstone surface gets wet. A single slip here will result in an irreversible freefall. At least 18 people have lost their lives on this trail over the years, forcing park rangers to implement a strict licensing system instead of the previously free access. Despite its poetic name, Fairy Meadows, Pakistan's road is one of the most treacherous and terrifying roads on the planet. To minimize risks on the 10-mile stretch along the mountainside, visitors often have to hand over the steering wheel to local jeep drivers. This rough, rocky road constantly faces the risk of serious landslides. while many sections run right along the edge of a deep ravine with absolutely no guardrails. The most breathtaking moment is when two vehicles traveling in opposite directions meet at a narrow bend, barely wide enough for one car. At this point, one driver must reverse their vehicle right to the edge of the ravine to give way, each meter moving a tense battle of wits with fate. Are you prepared to pay for a lunch where the view outside the window is a bottomless abyss, thousands of feet deep? That's the reality at Piz Gloria, a unique architectural marvel perched atop the Schilthorn, nearly 0 feet above sea level in the Swiss Alps. To reach it, visitors have no choice but to travel by cable car across the sheer cliffs and vast expanse of the snow-capped mountain peak. The restaurant completes a 360-degree rotation in about 45 minutes, offering panoramic views of over 200 majestic mountain peaks throughout the meal. When the clouds roll in, the entire surrounding landscape can disappear into a white wall in just a few minutes. This prime and precarious location has made it the lair of a villain in the James Bond film series. If you want to know what it feels like to spend $50,000 a night sleeping at the bottom of the ocean, then this is where luxury travel transforms into a true adventure experience. At this complex, guests eat, breathe, and rest approximately 16 feet below sea level, completely surrounded by the salty ocean water. It started as the world's first underwater glass restaurant before being renovated into an expensive accommodation space. From inside, you can watch stingrays, sharks, and sea turtles gliding right above your head among meticulously maintained coral reefs. However, that overwhelming feeling is only possible thanks to the 7-inch thick acrylic glass separating you from the thousands of tons of seawater pressing down, turning each night's sleep into a quiet dialogue with the vast ocean. Some attractions are built with money, but Thailand's Death Railway was built at the cost of the labor and lives of tens of thousands of people. Spanning approximately 258 miles between Thailand and Myanmar, this project was constructed by the Japanese Army during World War II in just 15 months. It traverses the dense forests and rugged mountains of Kanchanaburi province. Asian prisoners of war and laborers were forced to work more than 12 hours a day amidst hunger, disease, and utter exhaustion. The price paid was approximately 13,000 Allied prisoners of war and nearly 90 Asian laborers who perished in the construction process. Today, tourist trains still move slowly along a route marked by one of the region's greatest historical tragedies. The Caminito del Rey walkway once held the title of the world's most dangerous hiking trail. It claimed many lives and was closed for 15 years before being restored. The walkway is only about 3 feet wide and is built directly into a sheer cliff face, suspended more than 300 feet above the deep canyon floor. Just below the new floor, the shattered concrete and rusted steel frame of the old walkway are still clearly visible, a stark reminder of its terrifying past. Visitors are required to wear helmets to minimize the risk of falling rocks before crossing the steel mesh bridge, which exposes the entire abyss below and constantly sways in the winds that carry the canyon. The route has virtually no escape routes midway. If someone panics or experiences an emergency, a helicopter may be the only rescue option. The conflict between the instinct for survival and the human desire to break all limits will never end. These impossible places exist not to challenge death, but to remind us of the true value of life, even on the thinnest edge of fear. If you had a ticket to step out of your comfort zone, which of the deadly locations on today's list would you be willing to venture to test your limits?